Hey everybody, welcome to Rivals of Waterdeep, episode 29. This is the penultimate, I love that word.
Yes.
Episode of season 3, episode 9. Let's go around the room and our shortened party. Let's introduce ourselves, starting with Tanya.
Hi, I'm Tanya. I play your paladin, Celise Astorio. Both Celise and my pronouns are she, her. And let's see what shenaniganry she can get into after being away last week.
I'm Brandon Stennis. I play Ren Leadon. My pronouns are he, him for me and my character. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens. The last episode before the season finale, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Penultimate.
Yep.
And this guy talking about penultimates is, your penultimate introduction is from Cicero Holmes.
Wow.
Cicero Holmes, who plays Perrin Underbow, your halfling bard. And we are both he, him.
Yes, and I'm Sharif Jackson, he, him as well. I'm your DM, associated NPCs, horses,
I need to ask about
somewhat
this
drunken 11-year-olds. I play all kinds of people. So we are down.
That is correct.
2 people.
That is correct.
We are down our half-orc Knock, Carlos Luna, and our half-elf ranger Serenum. As well. So peace, y'all. Hope you guys are watching and see this whenever.
Right.
Because you should know before our finale, which will be in 2 weeks at PAX East.
That is correct.
In Boston. So we will be off next week for C2E2.
Correct.
So let's get into the recap because I'm interested to hear what questions Tanya has.
So I watched some of the episode, but what got my attention was the quote tweet about yes, the horse is a dick.
Okay.
And I was just like,
What?
Okay.
like I watched the clip, but it still makes no sense.
Okay. So previously on Rivals of Waterdeep. Whoosh. All right. Can anyone answer, Tanya, why the horse is a dick?
Well, the horse is a horse, of course.
A horse is a horse, of course, unless the horse is Mr. Ed.
Right. But this horse realized that a horse's life, a domesticated horse's life, is basically, parallel slavery. And the horse is a dick because nobody asks its input on what it would like to do or what the best routes would be.
So he did not give the horse autonomy, is what I'm hearing.
No, the horse has no autonomy, and that is why the horse is a dick. Because wouldn't you be a dick too if people claim to respect you, but don't ever ask your opinion about things, but expect you to be the one to convey everywhere.
Yeah.
So you mean my life on Twitter?
That is, yes. So yes, there you go.
I could set up a horse Twitter page. Also this horse did belong to Blackstaff Tower.
Yes.
Who, as we have seen, some jerks live at Blackstaff from our first episode.
That is correct.
We noticed that. So let's start from the beginning of the episode. At the beginning, we were basically trying to devise a plan on how to get this cube that had our inverted images to the Xanathar.
That is right.
So that we can get information about what they're up to, because at the end of episode 27, Shaka said that they have the final key.
Right. Right.
So what happened? Do you guys remember the plan?
Yeah. So
There were several plans.
There were several plans.
I wanted to give you guys some choices.
Right. Yeah. So you gave us 2 choices. We decided on a third choice. That was completely out of the scope of your choices, and the choice that we decided on was Knock coming out and talking about, what is it? A
Haver course.
I don't know the exact name.
Course maneuver. It's something like that.
Yeah. Oh man, damn! I wish Carlos was
Haverford?
here.
Haver
something maneuver.
Something like that.
There was some ancient maneuver. But basically, it's like a subterfuge that you talk about a thing that you want stolen by the enemy, even though. And put up some kind of false fight to make the enemy feel like they've actually gotten the thing, they've acquired the thing that you wanted them to acquire, kind of without their knowledge.
Yes,
Haversack.
Thank you, chat. Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
the
there you go.
haversack
Yeah.
maneuver. Yes. So we did that in the form of having, let's see, Rin, Ash, and
Percival.
Percival go back to the bar or the inn where Rin spent a couple of evenings when he was inebriated.
Well, a couple hours.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Shirley
he was
Temples
paid.
too.
Yeah.
You gotta remember Shirley Temples.
Yes, and then we discovered that Percival is severely underage.
Oh dear.
Yes,
I
11
will
years old.
say I was a little shocked. Like I had been saying before, he's a little young. I re-listened to these shows. I
Right.
was saying he's young.
Right.
I never said his age.
Right.
But I was hoping that you guys would think. I was trying to play him as this kind of spunky,
Right.
young mage in training. but
Right,
I
yeah,
guess I didn't
like
do
20.
20. Oh,
Yeah, young mage in training. 20 years old, you don't know what the hell you're doing.
true. That is true.
So,
I agree with that.
so they discovered he was 11.
Yeah.
As they
While
were
they're at the bar.
While they're at the bar, right, and now have to figure out how they can pretend to be drunk and give away their plans with a child.
Yeah.
So they got Percival drunk off of Shirley Temples.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yes,
interesting.
yes.
This was him
was funny.
acting the way he thought a drunk person would act.
Right.
So he
Yes.
was hamming it up.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
And then what did you do, Rin, in the inn?
Yeah, Ren went back upstairs to the room that he was in. I forget, what was it?
201.
201, yeah.
Yep.
And wrote a fake note to Sleece,
Yep.
trying to disguise what was going on and just try to. And he left his coat and his jacket there just to get that going, and then went back to Ashbourne and Percival to have the plan start.
That is correct.
Yeah. And Ash and Percival were like dropping these really obvious hints downstairs. Yeah, we have to get up early and move this thing. So what happened when you guys went out to actually in the carriage?
Yeah, so we were in the cart and we were moving right along, and then we were come upon by some giant puffy gas monsters.
yes.
Gas spores, yes.
Yes.
15 of them.
Yes, and
How many?
15.
yeah, and they tried to circle us. We barreled through a couple of them, and both Ash and Rin were poisoned.
Yeah.
By said puffy gas horse.
Spores.
Yes.
Okay.
Spores.
Okay.
Cicero Holmes, guys, not Perrin Underbook.
I don't know where one stops and one begins sometimes.
Like, this is confusing.
Yeah, but and then once they were dispatched of, or actually we didn't dispatch of them, we just rode past them.
Yeah.
Then we were come upon by a soldier on a horse with several people behind him, also on horseback, and Perrin cast one of his new spells called Quake. I think
It was Erupting Earth.
Erupting Earth, yes, and basically made the lead rider dismount and get trampled
Yeah.
by his compatriots. But we discovered that the person that was leading the group was also at the inn the night before and had encountered Ash and Rin. And that once that person was dead, we discovered that the rest of the people riding with him were skeletons.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Skeletons.
And Knock Knock pushing the horse because the horse realized that he did not like Ashbourne, even though she had like befriend animals.
Yeah.
Decided, you know what, we're gonna do a little drifting, carriage drifting.
He has a little Tokyo drift.
Yeah, yes, exactly, and Waterdeep drifts.
Yeah, Waterdeep drift.
And he drifted off the path, which broke one of our wheels, and that gave Perrin the opportunity, once he saw what was going on, to take some of the barrels of hay that we had in the back of our fake wagon and the box that had the cube in it and push them out as if they fell out, so that the skeleton riders stopped and grabbed it, and we turned around and tried to shoot at them as they rode away with our spoils, and we felt horrible about it.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I if I remember, Ren, you just like put your dagger in the ground, like, oh damn it, they took our cube. Like, you guys are just shooting arrows, fake arrows,
all missing.
And Celise actually stayed with Shaka because he's still like recovering from the nervous breakdown that that like you guys partially caused by making him try to negotiate with Jarlaxle.
That's true.
Fake prisoners. So you were like doing that. If you do hear the episode, you have to blame Cicero for making me imitate you with that wonderful accent. It wasn't my fault.
That's okay. I'll get you back
I didn't
in Boston.
do it. I didn't do it at first, but he handed me a mint julep. And
Wow.
what am I going to do?
So you and Carlos are going to get it for imitating Celise.
Yeah. So if you want to see a live beating at a live on stage, real world divine smite. Make sure you're in the Albatross Theater at 9:30.
All right.
Anything else, guys?
No, I think that was it.
No.
All right. Yeah. So we have a lot to set up for that finale. So let's jump in.
Let's do it.
Okay. This is the next day. So I'm gonna say that like you guys like you like shot the arrows. You return back to a Blacksaph Tower.
Sure.
And because all that happened at the beginning it's the same day, sorry. Because like all the caravan stuff was like at first light, right? So like now it's like sort of like the early afternoon.
Sure.
Right? Rin, I'll say that you've been healed by the wizards because like you were poisoned.
Yes.
So like if you weren't healed, you would be slowly like kind of like losing health and that kind of stuff. So like, it's a bunch of wizards, so they all kind of like hit you. As you guys get like back, you're like sitting back, and you see like Celise come out, who's obviously curious about what happened. So what do you guys tell her?
Celise,
Yes, Perrin.
the plan went unhitched without a hitch. Yeah, I know. It was a bad PU, but WU. Yes, W triple U.
Does a PW count as a PU?
I don't know.
No.
Can we,
PW?
Yeah, W, triple U. But yes, so the cube is on its way.
All right. So hopefully this will help us on our next part of the adventure.
We must get that key.
Shaka, how is Shaka doing?
He's still pretty bad.
Shaka isn't much better. I think we need to wait a little bit until he's either able to travel with us, or we need to talk to him because he's really shaken.
We should probably check in on him to see how he is.
This is, well, his personality is unsettled. I don't believe that Shaka will be of any use to us beyond where he has given us the cube. He has done his job. He seems like he's not even ready to be a part of what we do.
All right, so
Wow, that's cold.
That's pretty cold. At this moment, you hear kind of this thumping coming off, and you see Shaka emerge. Oof. He's staggering. He's kind of holding himself up on the walls.
So I'm going to go over and put an arm around him.
Okay. Anybody else care to do anything? No.
Oh,
of course not.
No, I'll walk over there.
Because Celeste cares.
Some say.
Yeah. But before the live beating.
Right. Live beatings is for Sharif, not Shaka.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Shaka saved Sharif. I don't know. Yeah. So he like puts his weight on like a Celeste and like says, even if I can't go, don't forget the journal. It's written in a way that they couldn't understand, but it'll help you to navigate through if you ever need to go to the guild. I tried to capture as much information as I can in a language that they don't understand because they don't know math.
Well, I'm out of this.
But you do. But I have faith that you guys do, especially if you roll high on intelligence.
So quickly out of character, will cure wounds do anything for Shaka, or is it all mostly psychic damage?
It'll make him feel a little better. It definitely won't bring him full because it's not really like his HP. It's more
but it's
like
more
his,
psychic damage.
Right. It's his.
Right, but I'll still try to.
Yeah, sure.
Let me. What's his modifier? What's his
Is what?
Sorry, I was thinking of my modifier, so he gets 7 back.
Oh, sweet. Okay, all right. So he's like,
I don't aggressively heal him. I just gently put my hand on his face.
okay.
You get aggressive healing.
Yeah. Thank you, Celeste. You're always one to look out for me. And then he glares at Perrin and Ren. And then he daggers back. Then Vajra comes out. She's very curious about what happened as well. So like she's like, how did it go?
I believe the term would be swimmingly.
Okay.
They have the cube now.
Okay. So, we have to Shaka, and then like you like hear him stumbling back. How exactly do we communicate with this cube? I mean, I know you mentioned that the inverted versions are in it, but how do we get the information? And then Shaka says, well, when they were affected by the cube, it's an imprint of their consciousness. So when the inverted version has something to say, they'll be able to communicate it telepathically. But because it's inverted, it might sound like nonsense. Because I just couldn't get it to work right. So it's sort of this mirrored version. So they might have to work a little bit to decipher the information, but they can do it.
So you mean that when they communicate with us, it will be a puzzle that is unsolved?
Yes.
Very well.
Yes, but like not on purpose. Like I did what I can. I couldn't build a perfect copy. But like they will be able to communicate. I just am not sure exactly how inverted their message will be. I mean, you saw how they looked. So the message might be a little weird.
Shaka, one more question.
Yes.
You mentioned a journal.
Yes.
This journal, may I see it?
Yes, I believe you already have it, actually.
Oh, very well.
Yes, I think you told me before that Duo gave it to you.
That is right.
Outside the market.
That is correct.
And then for some reason, for 4 episodes, you've never used it. So...
Parents had a lot on his mind.
What was I gonna say? I feel like Ren at this point like turns to Celeste and says, "Celeste, how can we trust Shaka? Like he's done a lot of stuff behind our backs. I don't trust him. Like I feel like something is wrong.
Okay, is this because Shaka's right there? Are you trying to whisper it?
Ooh, whisper.
Or
Whisper,
you just,
whisper.
Okay.
Sorry, not out loud.
I mean, I mean, to my face, you were like, "We have to kill him," like before.
That's true.
Right.
That's
Right.
true. Yeah,
That's true.
And so
Sorry, are you trying to whisper?
whisper.
this?
Yeah,
I'm
you
whisper
whisper,
at this
okay.
point.
So, why don't you roll
Slide it.
stealth, I guess?
Persuasion?
No. It'd be a stealth move. Like you're trying to be
let me see.
stealthy and see.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. I
hope it's a
wanna
high
Oh,
see.
no, I think he's pretty stealthy.
I want to see how.
We saw myself before. Let's see. 19.
Oh,
but-
for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So like Shaka
Okay.
does not hear you. Okay.
Yeah.
You are lucky.
Right? Yeah, I think that something is going on with Shaka. I don't trust him. This kid, like, he could be leading us to our deaths right now.
You mean just like when you came back and you were ready to stab everything? And you
That's
And
true.
you thought killing 2 people was the answer to the riddle when it was an hourglass?
But you guys weren't around when that happened.
But we brought you back and kept you safe.
But he's with the Xanathar.
I know that. And believe me, of anyone here, it is my duty to keep you all safe. But we can't just give up on our friend. Should we have given up on you?
I guess you're right. But I just want you to just know that something may be going on with him.
Oh, I'm aware. I've been spending time with him while you were off doing the plan.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
Believe me. If it comes to that, it will bring me no joy. But we can't just leave him here and be like, oh, well, when we caused the state that he's in.
Okay.
All right. So like at this point, Shaka starts to go back because he's like getting really tired, so he kind of stumbles his way back to where he came from. All right. At this point, Vajra comes like back out, but like now she looks like really worried, and like says, "We have to go back to the catacombs. Something is happening, and I've never seen this happen before, and I think it has to do with you."
With who?
With all of you.
Really? Well, I guess I could ask questions, but I guess really I should just say, lead the way.
Yeah, so I'm not sure where Knock Knock and Ash are, but we can't wait for them. Let's just go.
Very well.
All right. Well, before we go, I want to make sure Shaka has like food and water within reach. And let him know that we're not just abandoning him.
It's in his bowl.
Just like something to snack on. I want like a water skin.
I want a bowl of water.
Look, just because you're a tiefling doesn't mean I got to treat you like an animal.
Okay, all right. What kind of food are we talking
I leave him like jerky, travel rations.
Oh, okay.
Since he was like stumbling around, he may not be able to get up.
Yeah,
and,
he's
Right.
it's
he's physically, mentally, he is like.
Ooh, yeah. Slap him
just
to a
kind of
Slim
make sure
Jim.
that he knows that we're coming back. That's the plan.
Is it Slim Jim? I just have this. I have this image of like Shaka is.
Yeah, I gave him some. I left him some Slim Jim brand beef, like dragon
I
jerky.
feel like you. And like I don't know why I remember this, but there was a Slim Jim commercial where I think Macho Man was painting, and like he was like, "Art thou bored?" Snap into a Slim Jim. I don't know why I remember that one, but
yes, but I just make sure there's like
Macho.
travel rations and a water skin nearby.
yeah. Okay, cool. All right, he is very appreciative of that. Once again, glares
So,
at Ren.
so just remember that when Shaka does snap and try to kill us all, I won't be the one who does
Right.
that.
Yeah,
He'll let
exactly.
you know before he goes crazy. Perrin leaves a note for Ash and Knock Knock that says something like, "We're off with Vajra. You weren't here. Please understand." And that's how he signs it. So where
he
would
signed
be
on the bottom.
PU? It says, "Please understand." So yes.
And where do you leave the note? Like in their like sleeping area?
Yeah. Like in our, I would assume that we've got quarters,
it's
right?
quarters,
So so a common area for our group. Yes.
Okay. All right. So so she leads you back down to the catacombs. When you get down there, so as a reminder from the last episode, there were 4 cubes, right, in like the corners. There was like one with Jarlaxle, one with the Nihilor, the Mind Flayer,
Right.
one with the Etten, the really large like two-headed thing, and there was one with Shaka in it, but it's like no longer there. So these cubes are like in the corners, but they're like moving now. They're like kind of rotating around and like switching corners, almost like somebody is like pushing them from corner to corner.
Are they also rotating while they're rotating? Meaning,
No,
okay,
no,
okay,
no. Like,
okay,
it's like it's like the imprint of a square on the ground.
Sure,
it's moving there,
right,
then moving there, then moving there.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And she's like, I don't understand. Like, I've tried to understand this magic. There's usually not much magic I don't get, and we've had this prison for a while, and I've never seen this before, and I know that you're new, so you're the variable. So can someone explain what's going on here?
Well, if you, the Wizard Supreme, cannot understand, how do you expect that we do?
Okay. All of a sudden you hear kind of like it sounds very familiar. It sounds like the same sound when you try to steal the Stone of Galore from Celise and it rematerialized in her hand. You kind of hear that kind of sound, and then you feel something in your hand.
So the stone has come back to me.
Yes.
Oh. So I look at her and go, well, the stone came back.
Where did you get that?
It must have sensed we have a need.
Is that actually... I did not know it was real. How long have you had that?
I only touched it or communed with it a couple times, and then it went about its way.
Did you get... Actually, one thing I forgot to mention in the recap as well. So she said that Rennie was somebody that would be able to get us into the Xanathar, and she asked sort of like if like
yes.
You guys knew. Perrin for some reason shared that you guys met him and he was in the library with a bugbear. So now she's really worried and she's trying to like find where this library is.
Right.
Perrin did persuade her that there was nothing shady going on. But like she also shared that his dad, Lord de Gault, was the one that embezzled the money and used the stone to erase the memories of himself and everybody else. So when she sees the stone, she's going to think that maybe you got it from Renaer, or like in some ways kind of like did that, because like Renaer saved her life. Mm-hmm. So like she's like really like sorry, I forgot to add that context in the recap. So she's like, what did you do to Rennie to get that?
I did nothing to him.
Well, how did you get it?
So I'm going to just give her...
It belonged to his father.
His father?
Lord de Gault.
So I'm going to just give her the backstory of how I wound up communing with the stone, and how after I'd asked it some questions, it literally disappeared. This is the first time I've seen it since.
So you've attuned to it.
Yes.
Now, the rumors are that that the stone is sentient, so it doesn't, like, even someone like me that has mastered most of the magical arts can't choose to attune to it unless it wants me to. So it must want something from you.
It does, but I saw through its ruse.
What information did it share with you?
So Celise just has a moment of, I don't know you and I don't trust you.
Yeah, this is up to you. You tell me what you...
It tempted me with something I'd normally want very much, but I knew it was a lie. I'm not sure what it wanted, but I saw through the lie, and that allowed me to pass its test.
Okay, I can tell you don't want to share, and that's fine. We all have our secrets, and of course I could, if I really wanted to, I could cast suggestion.
You could.
As a level 19 wizard. But...
Wow. That's not helping me to trust you now.
But we're on good terms.
Are we?
So I wouldn't want to, violate your brain space in that manner. So perhaps the stone is doing something with this. Can you commune? Can you communicate with it?
Sure.
All right. How does Celeste try to communicate with it?
I wish I had a good prop.
You just like put it on your head and you're just like,
Right, Tito, why are you not here with the Stone of Galore prop? So I hold it in two hands and I kind of stare into the three eyes. Are the eyes like looking at me? Are they open, closed?
they're open.
Okay, so I kind of stare at the stone's eyes. Are you doing this? Are you making the cubes move?
Okay. All of a sudden, the eyes, they look like they're closing a little bit. They're not fully closed, maybe like 75% closed. And all of a sudden, you see nothing but blackness.
Oh.
Okay. Everybody else has despair. You're in like, it's almost like you remember in the Matrix where Keanu first jacks in. It's just like a black. It's like that. It's like a black void. And all you hear is like a booming voice all around you, like, "Are you ready to be tested?"
Again?
It's a long test.
It's like, come on, y'all. Yes, Stone of Galore, I'm ready to be tested.
Celeste is like, let's just get on with it,
So
Stone.
Celeste is kind of like Geralta Rivia, where she's just like, if I got to, fine, I'll do it.
You know, now the tub thing makes sense. Now it makes sense why you like Bass.
So I need someone to draw Celeste, but in the Geralt tub.
in the girl tub right at the beginning. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, she's basically like, come on, I've gone through multiple tests. Can we just do this?
Okay, so I said earlier that one of the keys is in Blackstaff Tower. If you can figure out the pattern of these cubes, it may lead you closer to it.
The pattern of how they're moving or how they were before?
I cannot give you that information. After all, this is a test. And then you are back with everybody else. And as what happens, like a normally, no time has passed for like you guys. So like you don't even know that she did anything. It just
So I was just staring at the stone.
all they see is that. Yeah.
So is Stone still there with her? Oh, okay. So when she
So it's still manifesting.
Still physically there. Yes.
Okay.
So the stone said that if we can figure out the pattern of the cubes, it'll help us get closer to the key that is in Blackstaff Tower.
Are you making this up? I just saw you stare at the stone and put it down as if nothing happened.
Why would I make this up?
I don't know.
I'm gonna love
Don't kill Vondra.
Well, look, she's level 19. I probably don't kill her. But Celeste just kind of gets that real put upon look that many of my actual friends know that I get that look on my face. Look, Vajra.
Boom. Wow, that was an actual boom. You know what I'm saying? Boom.
Right. Yo.
Don't break the mic.
Yeah.
Right.
But she's just like, Vajra, I don't know you well enough to bother with lying to you. And in case you missed it, I'm a paladin. I don't do the lying thing often. Mm-hmm. So I communed with the stone. You asked me to commune with it. That's what it told me.
Okay, well, how do we explain the movement of... I mean, I've had these cubes here for a very long time, and they've never moved on their own.
One of the keys we're seeking is in Blackstaff Tower. The movement of these cubes is clearly a puzzle.
Is it similar to any other puzzles you may have done?
There have always been puzzles that involved ordinal directions. They've all involved divisions of 4. They've all involved corners of some sort.
So a compass.
Perhaps. She is a paladin undeterred.
Oh, bringing it for the penultimate. Wait, is penultimate a PU actually?
No, because there's one word.
Hyphen ultimate.
Yeah, right.
We'll just make it a PU. We will make it a PU. Penultimate is the best PU out there. It's built in. Yeah. Okay. So as you say that, the cubes stop moving.
Okay.
So now, at this point, you guys are in the center of the room, right? There is one cube that's right in front of you.
Okay.
That cube is Jarlaxle. There is one cube to the right of you. That cube is Nihilor.
Okay.
There's one cube in back of you. That's the Etten. And then to the left of you is the blank space that Shaka was previously in.
Okay. Are the cubes different colors?
No.
Are they different sizes?
The Etten one is much larger
okay.
because that's a large beast.
Right.
Yes.
So the cube itself gives enough space for the occupant,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's it. Okay. So, but outside of that, the cubes are identical. Okay.
And we're in the middle.
And we're in the middle.
You guys are in the middle.
Well, one of these cubes is not like the other.
Well, the one with the Etten is the largest one.
Yes, but they all have occupants, except for one.
Correct.
Well, yeah. So there is. So the place where like Shaka is, there is no cube. It's like an empty space.
Oh, it's an empty space.
Yeah. It's just an empty space.
Oh, okay. So not an empty cube, but an
Yeah.
empty space.
Yeah.
So there are 3 cubes.
There are 3 cubes, but like there's a. I guess I was trying to say there is a
space where that cube
where
should
that one was.
right.
Oh, maybe where it should be.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, well, there is a space that is unoccupied. Previously occupied.
There we go.
Yeah.
Fix it up. Yeah.
Yeah. By where Shaka was. Perhaps there is something that should occupy it now. Maybe Celise, the stone, belongs there. Or the stone would like to be there. This puzzle is as yet unsolved. Maybe the solution is the stone in the place where there is none.
It seems a little risky.
So if this kills me, I'm going to come back. All right. So the stone is still there. It has not left.
Still there.
All right. So I'm going to slowly walk to the empty corner.
Okay.
And see, I'm watching the stone very carefully to see if it reacts to getting close to where this empty spot is.
Okay. Yeah, it's not doing anything.
So it's not vibrating. The eyes are still closed.
Well, they're not completely closed. They're like.
But it looks almost like someone's about to fall asleep.
Yeah. It almost looks like the stare that you give to Perrin.
Eyes are open though when I stare at people.
No. You definitely they narrow a bit for sure.
Wow.
For sure. Yeah.
All right, so I'm just gonna make my way to that corner and see what happens.
All right. As you go over there, you do feel as you get like right where this base is, you do feel a very slight vibration. It's like almost minute, but it's definitely, from your paladin training, you can sense like very sensitive things, and it's very sensitive, but like you could definitely feel a slight movement when it's there.
Vibration from the stone?
Yeah,
or
from the stone.
Okay.
Like in your hand.
So she's gonna like cover the eyes with her other hand
Okay.
and kneel. Not quite put the stone on the ground, but just kneel and see if there's any change, like the closer she puts the stone to the ground.
Okay. No, it doesn't really change. But you know what? Why don't you roll perception with advantage since you are attuned to the stone,
All right.
and you guys can roll just like regular perception. as
Okay.
well.
Isn't it perform? What am I getting on advantage?
Oh,
you
no,
just-
roll.
Well, I got 18.
Okay.
Oh, well, I mean, you could roll better if you want, but.
Look, I'm not taking my chances.
Oh,
I mean,
no, you take the
just
highest.
take the highest one.
You take
Okay.
the highest of
Yeah.
of
Nope.
Good job.
You got 18.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm keeping
All right,
that
what-
18.
18.
18.
20.
Oh wow, you a nat 20?
No. Right,
Still, wow,
not
you guys are up and at 'em today.
That's right. That's right. We're picking up the slack for
Yeah, for the rest of the
right. I'm rolling for the brothers who ain't here.
I'm pouring out an 18 for,
Right.
Oh my god.
for my homies.
Right.
Yeah. So what?
This rose dedicated.
All right, geez. So what everybody notices then is as you move it closer to the ground, you kind of see a very faint outline of a cube that starts to come around it.
Oh.
It's very faint. It's not a physical. It's not a cube.
I'm not about
but-
to be trapped in a cube.
No. But it's like something that like you can pass through because your hand has the stone there. It's like a faint outline of a cube, almost like a tracing or like a dotted version of one that's there.
So I'm gonna lay the stone on the ground, and we're gonna remain kneeling right there. But I'm just gonna let the stone have contact with the ground.
Okay. All right. So yeah, as it's there, like all of you kind of notice this very faint outline of a cube that's like surrounding it.
So if Vedra puts the stone in a cube, what could happen?
You can ask her to do it. That's up to you guys if you want to.
All right, I'm going to back away.
Can like role play it out. See
All right, so I'm gonna back away. Vedra, can you create a
it's
cube?
Vajra.
Vajra.
You know, like the A, like the vowel is pronounced like a ah.
Put her ass in this cube in a minute.
Come on, somebody's and I'll say, just kidding.
Vadra's trying to get a shot in the mouth. That's what she's trying to get. I don't care if she's level 19. She's gonna get a shot in the mouth.
Level 19 can't stop a bullet. That is a quote from Rivals of Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Wow. So, Vadra,
Yes.
could you create a cube around the Stone of Galore, please?
So like I didn't have her roll, so she didn't see that.
So she didn't
faint
see me
outline.
like walk.
No, she didn't see the outline.
She didn't see the faint
Okay.
outline. The only reason that you guys see it is because you're like have this connection with the stone. So she's like, I mean, I just use it for the prisoners. Why would I put this stone around it?
So
Is it dangerous?
No, I mean, if nothing else, it'll just disappear if it doesn't want to be there. There's an outline of the cube that Shaka was in.
Where?
You're not attuned, so I don't know if you can or can't see it.
I'm
but
the
it's-
black staff of Waterdeep. If something's magical, I for sure should be able to sense.
Well, then
it.
walk closer.
Okay, she walks over. She sort of inspects it. You like see her kind of waving her hand and like casting a few things. She doesn't see anything.
It's like, I can't help you.
Okay.
Perrin wants to pull out the journal that Shaka talked about.
Okay.
And
Roll intelligence if you want to read it.
I just asked you to do one thing.
oh, well, so he pulled out the journal and he dropped it on the ground and he was like, oh, wait a minute, what? So he's like, all right, I'm sorry. I was thinking, Perrin's like, ooh, please.
Oh, is this like a luck?
Yeah.
Did you crit fail on the
Yeah.
first?
I crit failed. I crit failed.
Lucky bard.
Yes.
The spine broke, pages scattered.
he's-
Oh yeah. You might have damaged it actually.
Yeah, please forgive me. Yeah, no, man. It's
Don't tell nah man to me.
Nah, man.
Journals are shred.
So Perrin on his what did you say? Intelligence? 17.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. So that's definitely good enough. So like you're paging through this journal, trying to look for something that might help you.
Right.
And you see a picture very similar to the picture that you saw in the library that Reader created.
Right.
With the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
And the boxes.
Right.
It looks very similar to this room, and like you're kind of trying to relate that to what's going on.
There seems to be parallel universes within.
That is good.
Thank you.
Good. Some good viewing.
There seems to be some parallel universes with regards to the stone and our doppelgangers, maybe this cube and the stone should be one. I was perhaps uninterested in your plans, Elise. But maybe, perhaps maybe, this is the plan that we should pursue.
You mean putting our doppelgangers in the cube? Or
No,
putting me
our
in the
doppelgangers are already in the cube, on the way to the Xanathar.
Yeah, this is a different cube. This is like the
right,
prison
right,
cube.
the prison cube.
cube.
Yes,
not the-
yes, yes. So when I say cube, I mean the cube we once saw, but presently unseen. Vadra, you see the stone. Produce a cube around the stone.
As I said before, I'm not a magician. I don't just perform tricks for no reason. You have
It's
to,
not a
Vadra.
you have to prove to me why I need to do this.
Vadra, you, as you've already said, are the black staff of Waterdeep.
Yes.
But you came to us, said that we were the variable that made something that you had no idea about occur. And now, these variables are saying that we need your assistance in making our variable happen.
All right, roll persuasion.
13.
Okay, not good enough. She's like, I think I'll go ask Shaka. Actually, I think I'll see what he has to say. I know we have his journal, but since we don't have Knock Knock or Ash either, I just not certain that this will work. So she leaves.
Well, I will say as you leave,
Okay, yeah. As she's walking off, what do you say?
not listening to Paranundabo is perhaps unwise.
Okay.
Right. So Celise is understandably annoyed, but she decides to go back to where the cube is,
Okay. Which one?
where the stone is.
Stone is okay.
It's like, Vadra, put me in a cube then.
Okay, so like that actually makes her stop and she says, "Why would I do that?"
Because the stone seems to be the missing piece, and if you won't put it around the stone, then if I'm in the cube and it solves the puzzle, it gets us a step closer.
Okay, so like you want to be like with the stone, like kind of
Right. So I'm basically
holding
like
it, like next
like
to it, or
like
you're-
sitting there, like, you know, kind of cross-legged, holding the stone, or maybe like still have it on the ground, but my hand on it.
Okay.
So I'm communing with the stone, like we're not trying to trap you, like we're just trying to solve your puzzle.
Okay, so she's like, well, if you're willing to risk yourself, that to me is much more convincing than the halflings' attempted way to get me to do it. So
I am a paladin of Tyr.
So okay, okay, all right. So are you like in position? All right. So yeah, she like puts her hand out and she does a motion and this cube forms around you, and you start to feel very weird. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh dear.
I believe in you.
Where's my con? That's a 20 total, not a nat 20.
Okay. All right. So like so you're still able to sort of like keep your wits about you and like you can sort of still perceive what's going on, you know, around you. So like the cube to you is like fairly translucent. So like you can see everyone and like hear what's going on for now. Because if you guys recall, everybody else when they were in a cube, they were like in like a stasis,
Right.
like a, almost like a like an unconscious thing. But you're not in that yet because you withstood it. So.
Yeah, so I've left the stone on the floor, but I've kept a hand on it to kind of commune with it while I can.
Okay. All right. Okay. So at this point, Vadra says, "Well, I mean, nothing happened. I mean, what's supposed to happen?
Patience, please.
Like, there had to be something with some other puzzle that you might have done.
Perhaps there were. Rin.
What about the time glass I had?
The hourglass.
The hourglass, yeah. You think that has something to do with it?
Do you still have it?
Let's see. He starts like, he starts looking.
Okay, all right. So based on Rin, I want you to roll actually to see if you dropped it somewhere or
Probably.
if you actually
Well,
have it.
remember, Rin was also knocked unconscious for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what would you roll to see if you lost something? I
I
guess.
don't know. It's like it was
Survival?
part of his survival.
Well, if so, I'll let you try to justify one to me that like has a good a good modifier on it.
Well,
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter because I got a 5.
Doesn't matter what your modifier is.
I think it would be survival, but I got a 5, but 6. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can't find it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I can't seem to find it right now.
Well, that's particularly unsettling. A puzzle that we've had previously that would give us an outcome very similar to the one that we are having right now. There was the doors.
Oh yeah.
The doors where before we met Reader, there were 4 doors. We positioned them in the right order, north, south, east, west. There was
Northeast, west, south.
yes, north, yes, but yes. When we put them in the right order, we got the news. But then there was also the colors.
Oh yeah.
But there are no colors here. There are cubes, and the cube could perhaps be a door. You've locked someone away. You locked things behind a door. So perhaps if we look at these in the same way, north, east, west, south, then maybe this is also a puzzle that can be solved that way. So Perrin walks towards Jardaxel, or Jarlaxle, who is to the front of us, presumably the north.
He was. Let me actually double check.
Yeah, he was to the front of us.
Yes, front. Yep.
And he looks at Rin and he says, "Rin." So he's walking towards Jarlaxle. Does anything happen when he walks towards Jarlaxle? Rin, perhaps you should go to the big one, off to the right.
To the back.
Oh, the big one's to the back. So
in the front is Jarlaxle.
Right.
To the right is Nihilor.
Nihilor's
Back is like Etten. Left is where Selisa is now.
So go to the mind reader thing.
Mind Flayer.
The mind flayer to the right.
All right.
Okay.
And as he goes over there, does anything happen?
Nope. All right. So at this point, Vajra, who is like left as you're kind of trying to explain this, she comes back with Shaka.
Right.
Shaka is looking even worse than before.
So she just like teleported out and went and got Shaka.
No. She walked out and came back.
Okay.
Yeah. This is like the catacomb area that we went down the trophy steps and stuff like that. Yeah. So she went out and she got him because Shaka is basically, he's like kind of like at this point he's kind of like sitting down on the ground because he's really having trouble standing. And he's kind of racking his brain trying to think about what this is. and he says like I know I put something about this in the journal. Also, remember Shaka was not in the puzzle with the doors,
right?
So he wouldn't really recognize that. So, but he like does like say, if the stone, it has to be something that the stone has either seen you do, and they're testing if you can recall in a different way. So what did you do with the doors?
We
opened them in cardinal order, right?
We opened them, yes.
Okay. What order?
North,
like north, south,
north, east, west, south. So
news.
That's correct.
So
if we
have to
Swen. Southwest, east, north.
Wait, why Swen?
The opposite.
That is the opposite. If we want to get back to the beginning, we just go in the order that we came.
I don't know. I think we have to. My issue is, I think we have to figure out what north is.
North.
And at this point, actually, who's at Jarlaxle's cube? Who went to Jarlaxle?
Perrin.
You went?
Perrin,
Okay.
Perrin's
I'll say you're kind of looking, you're like, as you're trying to think this out, you're also looking at his cube, and you notice sort of in the cube, and like this was probably there while he was trying to escape when he was first captured. You notice in front, you didn't really notice it earlier, but in front is like this large web. Because like he basically has this wand of webbing, it's called, where like he can like web people up.
Right.
And as he was trying to like get out, he was like casting this like web. So you see, this web that's like in front of the cube. That will be really hard to see unless you're like right up on
the cube,
which is why you notice it.
So it's inside the cube.
Inside.
It's inside the cube. There's a web.
Yes.
This web. I did not see that before. This web in the north. Spider web. Rin, did you know this? Notice this web before? Can we talk to Celise? We can talk to Celise. She's still.
You can try to talk to her.
Okay.
We can try.
Celise, what do you know about webs?
Okay. She can see your mouth moving.
Right.
She cannot hear you. You can, you can roll to see if you can read his lips.
This dice has been good to me
that would
today.
be intelligence, I think. Yeah, that'd be intelligence. So.
Hopefully I'm a smart paladin today. Intelligence. 14.
Okay, that's good enough. So like you heard what he said, and then you can reply back, and then he'll have to see if he can read yours.
So what do I know about webs?
Yes. What do you know about webs?
Spiders make them. They're dangerous if the spider's too big.
All right, you want to see if you see what she's saying?
On this episode of Charades of Waterdeep.
Yeah, this is charades with die.
So what am I? Intelligence?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I heard her.
Okay. Yes. All right.
Yeah. 16.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you definitely heard her.
Yes.
Okay. So at this point, Shaka says like, I think we should try that news thing, but maybe it represents something different here.
This. Oh, haha.
No, when the bard makes that noise.
It is time for a performance.
Are you going to sing for us?
No,
Oh.
no singing today. Well, at least not yet. The mood hasn't struck me. But perhaps it's time for the stone to perform and bring the stone to all of the locations. Are we sure that these people are positioned in the cardinal direction? So am I sure when I went, or when Perrin went north, or when Perrin went
In
to
front, Jarlaxle was in front of you.
Jarlaxle was in front of me,
Yes.
or in front of Perrin, are we sure that that was north?
It would, from your perspective, it could be north, but
It could be,
north. It depends on what it is.
right.
It's like a compass, right? You could be
Yes.
here, and north could be there.
That is correct.
There. Yeah.
That is correct. What if we were thinking the right thing in the wrong order? What if this is like the puzzle with the doors, but we were oriented incorrectly? What if the empty space is south, and we position ourselves so that the empty space is south, and we take the stone to each of the other directions, and we end with the empty space?
Okay. So Vajra says, why would the empty space be south?
Because the space is not truly empty. See with your mind and not with your eyes.
Okay, Professor X. James McAvoy.
It's my mind's eye.
You must get in Cerebro. Figure this out.
Gene! Vajra, I think the time is now to release Celise from the cube.
I mean, she wanted us to put her in there.
Correct, she did. And now I want you to take her out.
I don't think that's the right thing to do. Because if she's south, as you say, if we're releasing people and we're following this order that you propose, she should be released last. If she represents south.
Yes, that is correct.
I think we should probably try to release in the order that you proposed.
Very well. Rin, are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
I mean, the reason that I suggest this is because just from overhearing what you said, you had to open doors in north, east, west, south, correct?
Correct.
So think of the cube as a door. Perhaps if we open the cubes in that order, perhaps that's what the stone wants. But remember, these are prisoners. Now, they are in stasis, but as you saw with Jarlaxle, he awoke pretty quickly because he was in there a short time. The others will definitely be slow to rise, but we could have a situation.
Which is why I thought it was particularly unwise to open those. But
Okay, well, what do you propose that we do?
you do make a great point. Rin,
I would like to get Rin's idea on
I
this.
think we should open it in order how we did it before. It might be the easiest way for us to figure this out.
yes, it might be the easiest way to figure it out, but the most difficult way for us to get out
Okay.
with our lives. But
Okay.
this is a plan. Perrin likes plans. Let's do it.
Okay. And
All right.
Oh, yeah, sorry. You were kind of like can't hear. So like all you see is people just doing it.
Right.
Okay. So which one should I open first?
So
And like I'll like repeat it. In front of you is Jarlaxle.
right.
To the I think,
To the right
to
is
the
Nihil-
right is a Nihilor.
Right.
Back of you is the Etten.
Right.
To the left now is Celise.
So then the correct order would be Nihilor, the Enten,
Etten, yeah.
yes, Gerlaxel, and then Celise.
But that, let me see. Nihilo is N. The Etten is E. Jalaxo is J.
Is W.
Why is it W?
West. Gerlaxel is.
Yes,
Oh.
but I think it's the names. Nihilo, Etten,
Oh.
Jalaxo, Celise. I mean,
Does-
we can try it.
But no, there
But
is
is
a
there anything
there
that
is a web. Release the web in Gerlaxel's cage.
And then she goes up and she says, "I swear this was not here before, but you're right. You're right. So it is news."
That is news. But what shouldn't be news to you, Vadra, is that I told you that it's particularly unwise to not listen to Paranundaba.
Okay. All right. So she is going to. Okay. How do you position yourself as she does
Am I
this?
still at south, right?
No. So
you can move.
So you can move
like
yeah.
wherever you want.
But like, so you were near Nihilor.
yeah, yeah. You were near one.
So that would be the first one open. Perrin is going to move himself closer to Celise.
Okay.
I think there's strength in numbers, so Perrin thinks there's strength in numbers, so he's going to move himself back. He's going to look at Rin and motion him back over this way.
Okay.
So if something goes down,
Yeah.
we got our crew.
Vajra's also going to move towards Celise.
Okay.
So like you guys are like kind of facing the other three.
Right.
Like kind of, are you sort of getting ready? Are you just standing there? Are you getting
Weapons
pumped?
out, just in case.
You know, are you like putting in your iPod earphones?
Right, yes. Yeah.
I'm only saying that because I don't know why I rewatched this movie, Blade 3.
Oh.
I rewatched Blade 3 and I totally forgot how they had this basically iPod commercial where I think it was Whistler's daughter would only fight if she was listening to like a playlist of music.
Nice.
This is when the iPod first came out.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to think about, but do you remember back when the white headphones was like this big status symbol?
Yeah.
Like I was living in New York at the time, and when you saw people on the subway,
Yeah.
you were like, "Whoa, that person has an iPod." It was a big deal. When
Yeah.
when they came out, they were like $600, $700.
yeah,
Like they weren't like subsidized.
And now
it
they
was-
don't even exist.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the like wireless ones, right?
Right, yeah.
Which I would lose, so I never got those. But
Good job. Smart.
yeah. Okay.
So-
so like as you guys are there, she raises out her like hand. She opens up the north cube. Nihilor falls to the ground. Then she opens up the east cube, and the Etten, who's like a very large, kind of topples over.
Oh boy.
And it's this loud rumbling shake because it's large. Then she opens up the west cube, and Jarlaxo actually falls into this web. So like he's like still unconscious, but he's kind of like covered in this web now. And then she turns around and she opens up the south cube. So like now, like you who you don't really know what's happening.
Right, I'm just kinda
it
like
just
a-
opens up. So what do you what do you say as like you see these cubes open and then yours open?
What did you do?
The puzzle was previously unsolved, but now it is solved.
You and I have very different definitions of solved.
That is correct, Celise. But, as you should know, Paranundabo does nothing that will put him in peril on purpose.
Celeste just gives him a filthy look. And so she is the stone still there? Has
Yes,
the stone left?
stone is still in your
so
hand.
she's gonna like actually like tuck the stone into a pouch.
Okay, I thought you were gonna throw it at
No,
Perrin.
I'm not throwing the sentient stone. That would be so rude.
I was like, the stone is not a shoe.
I'm not giving him the chancla.
Yeah, it's not.
No, but I
okay,
put it in
put
a
it in
pouch
pouch.
and like gently pat it, like, hey, it's okay.
Okay.
And then like
Okay.
looks like it's time for combat.
So now the Nihilor begins to wake up. Then the Etten begins to wake up. then Jarlaxle begins to wake up. And they all stare directly at Vajra. And something happens that's very similar to when you first did the news puzzle.
Right.
Where the room starts to rotate.
Yes.
Starts to rotate faster and faster. And not only the room, but like actually Vajra, like the Ed, Nihilor, and Jarlaxle all start to like rotate. She separates from you guys. You see them lunge toward her as she gets ready with her like magic, and then they all disappear.
Where's Shaka in all of this?
Shaka is like he had kind of crawled back out, so like he's not like a part of this. But look at you guys looking out for Shaka now. I love it.
Yeah, man.
I love it. Look.
You know, he's still our people. You know,
good Shaka.
Right.
Yeah. So now, you know, they all kind of like dissolve in like a similar way, and now you guys are in a room that looks very similar to the room with the lanterns in it. So like there's that large 20 by 20 foot door.
Right.
Except instead of the lanterns, what you see is sort of, it almost looks like a 3D hologram, like a painting that's in the center of the room. Okay. Think of like you know, like those in Harry Potter, those like moving paintings that like you can like reach into and stuff. Kind of looks like that. It's a large one though.
Okay.
And what's inside of it is you see like an ocean on the bottom, and you see like a island in the middle, and the like island has one large green tree with like green leaves on it. There is a yellow beehive on one of the branches, and there's red roses on the ground surrounding the tree.
So ocean, then what?
There's like an island in the ocean.
Island.
There's one tree on the island with green leaves.
Green leaves.
There's one yellow beehive hanging off one of the branches. And below the tree are red roses.
Okay. Tanya, you're writing this down?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm just doing my best poor visual imitation of a palm tree on an island.
In the ocean. With a bee and a rose.
Like the letter B or a B?
Like a beehive.
Beehive,
like a honeycomb beehive.
Yeah,
like
beehive.
a yellow beehive hanging from one of the branches.
Okay, so.
Yes. Oh, I'm
all that
loving this.
All the time spent in Monster Hunter means I know what a beehive looks like.
Sweet.
The entire time that Tanya's doing this, my internal soundtrack is like the Snoopy Peanuts.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Does that fit your description?
I want to do the Snoopy dance.
Yes.
Like his nose in the air.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
All right. So
Like the little lonely island palm tree.
Yeah.
we're on a boat.
I don't know if y'all can see that, but
Oh god.
Yeah. So sorry, audio listeners.
Yes.
You don't get to benefit from the artistry of our paladin.
So Perrin sees this and says, "Remember, we are blue, green, yellow, red. Blue, green, yellow, red. Blue of the ocean. Green of the trees. Yellow of the bee, and red of the rose." So Perrin goes to the painting and he says, "Celise, you're very fond of baths, but Perrin is very fond of swimming." And he runs towards the painting and he goes to jump in.
You jump in, and now you are in the painting. You are swimming around in the painting.
Yes.
To everybody else, it like looks like you've shrunk and you're inside of this. I mean, it's a large painting, but like you've still shrunken about a quarter of your size. You're inside this painting, just swimming around.
Right. So Perrin's going to swim towards the.
I feel like you would like doggy paddle. Actually, I feel like you
Yeah.
oh my god!
Perrin's a...
Just be treading water.
Man, could I roll performance? Because
Sure,
because
maybe
Perrin...
you'll prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe you're Michael Phelps.
Maybe I'm not.
I was like, that's
Perrin got a 9.
No, you're who's the guy that got caught like stealing?
Ryan Lochte.
Yeah, exactly. You're Ryan Lochte.
Yes. So, so Perrin believes in his head.
You believe
Right.
that you're...
He believes that he is Ryan Lochte, the Olympian, but he turns out he's just Ryan Lochte, the human being. And so
exactly.
he's
You're Ryan Lochte, the trash human. Right.
wow.
Shout out to Ryan Lochte. He's
shout out to Ryan Lochte. He's awful.
He's somewhat misunderstood.
Hope he's not a D&D
Celebrity
sponsor.
Big Brother fans out there, you know
gosh.
you know that guy.
We're just striking that.
He's definitely trash if he's on that show. That show only accepts trash.
Oh man, I've watched that show.
So
Right?
Selisa's just kind of like, she does like even the RCA kind of dog head tilt, like she's seen some weird things, but this is kind of at the top of it.
Yeah, he's jumping in the painting like it's Mario 64.
Right. So
jumps in.
So Perrin is now doggy paddling his way towards the island. Has he made it to the island yet?
Yeah.
All right. So when when he gets to the island, Perrin climbs up the tree.
Okay.
Still wet. Climbs up the tree. He grabs a leaf off the top of the tree. Perrin should I roll athletics to see how well?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Perrin is 7.
Okay, you do not make it up to get this leaf.
Oh, okay.
You gotta remember, you're pretty short,
right?
So you have to like roll pretty high to make it up.
Yeah, I should have
It's a
stopped
pretty
using,
big tree.
Should have stopped using that die. But yeah. So Perrin is trying. So he tries to go up the first time and he slides back down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. So
shame.
Right. And then at that point he looks back. Now he's in the painting. So he looks back at the horizon from where he came. Can he see out of the painting?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yes, you do.
So he looks.
So like they look massive, like
Right.
they look like they're giants.
So he looks back at them, kind of expectantly, like, what are you guys doing?
like you coming or what?
Just like
So he looks at them. When he looks at you guys, what are you guys? Gonna...
I feel like Ren is like waving like, "Hey, Perrin, hey, how you doing?
What's up?
You got yourself in there."
So Selisa's thinking like, if I use paint thinner, what would happen?
Yeah, it'll be like that Looney Tunes or the anime was like erasing Donald Duck, or Daffy Duck. Yeah.
Well, the giant pencil
Yeah,
and the
right.
eraser. So Selisa shrugs and looks at Ren's like, well, we going?
I guess we can just go in. Let's just go in too.
All right, so I'm gonna take a running leap into, because I figure if I just try to like walk into the painting, I'll bounce off it or something.
Yeah. It's like a leap of faith. Like you definitely have to go all in.
So this is now Rivals of Waterdeep Assassin's Creed edition.
Yes.
Well, this is like, think about like getting another Harry Potter reference, but like running into that wall to make it to the 9.5
platform.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You
right.
gotta run with your shopping cart, and your
Yes.
owl. You gotta go
All right, so
full
I'm gonna
bore.
back up and run into it.
Okay, how does Celise do this? Is it a swan dive? Is it like a how you
I
do
mean,
this?
really think of it like the Assassin's Creed kind of leap of faith, where she like kind of jumps in and then like when you jump off things, you land in water.
Yeah, it's like okay.
And somehow miraculously, I don't break my neck, even though I've jumped like 20 stories.
Doesn't matter. You are a very powerful paladin. Okay, how does it run?
Vadra's still there, right?
No.
No.
Oh.
No. It like the room kind of like rotated. The last thing that you saw was like Vajra preparing to fight these 3 very powerful monsters as you appeared in this room.
Well, since like nobody's in the room at this point, I feel like Ren does his little like thing. He's like, he looks around to see if anybody's around, and he does like his little voguing thing, and then he like backflips into the painting.
Oh, that's dope.
Well,
Yeah.
the extra.
Are
It's
you
Ren.
backflipping while voguing? I mean, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah,
let's say yes.
Okay,
Oh my god.
Roll performance. Yeah,
Okay.
roll performance with advantage because you
Someone
are,
please clip
because like
this.
you are at this point an expert dancer. Yeah, like you've been dancing so much, you're an expert dancer.
Someone please
Oh,
clip this.
14. What's your
14.
performance?
Performance is 3,
17.
17.
Okay,
Or
roll.
you can roll one more time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just want to see if you do any better.
10.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, you pull this off, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
Wow.
you like start off Vogue. Oh,
Joe's
Joe's losing it. Joe's losing it. Shout out to Joe, our tech guy. Yeah, so you're like, oh, why don't you explain?
Yeah. So yeah, Ren looks around to see if like anybody's around because he does this like in his little self, and he starts like doing his little Vogue thing, and then he like turns around and like starts like backflipping into the painting.
As you backflip,
just like
you're still voguing.
Yeah, still
As
voguing.
you're
Yeah.
twisting in the air, you're still voguing. And I'll say that like Celise actually sees this.
Oh no!
Because like you jump pretty close after her. How does Celise respond to this?
Oh wow. Sleaze is just like she just kind of like gives him that disapproving mom stare, even though she's not his mom. Like, you could have broke your neck, young man.
Sure.
Perrin is on the shore by the tree.
Mm-hmm.
He turns and he watches this humongous half elf vogue.
Yeah.
And then backflip in.
And then like kind of shrink into like
Kind of
later
shrink
size.
and make his way into the ocean.
Yeah.
He looks and he just starts shaking his head and clapping.
Oh, okay.
And clapping.
That's
you
true.
know.
Nice.
And as Rin comes back up from the water, Perrin gives him a very, very approving nod.
Awesome.
Yes.
Ren's like, no one's supposed to see that.
Okay. All right. So you guys gonna swim to the ocean? To the island. Both of
Yeah.
you? All right. So I'll say that you guys are on the island.
All right.
What do you guys do?
I make sure the stone's still there, and then I kind of like shake off, like, I'm wearing armor.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Perrin looks at them and says, "Well, we've already done the blue. I attempted to get the green, but sometimes this height is not an advantage. So we need the green, and we need the yellow, and we need the red."
All right, so Sleaze looks at Ren. So I'm allergic to bee stings. How about you go for the bee and I'll climb?
All right, I can do that. I think I'm tall enough to make it.
Okay. Roll acrobatics.
So you're trying to catch a bee.
All right, let's see. Acrobatic. Okay. 17.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So tell me how you successfully do this.
So no voguing this time. Yeah. So it's a palm tree, right?
Sure. Yeah. I didn't really describe it. But
Okay.
Yeah. It could be a palm tree.
Yeah. I just see Ren just kind of kind of grabbing with his hands and feet and trying to like scoot up the tree.
Okay.
Up there.
No, I was getting the tree because I'm allergic to
Well,
bees.
You have to climb up to go near the beehive.
Yeah, the
I
beehive.
thought the bee was just flying around.
No, the
No,
beehive's in the off in the branch. Of the
Yeah,
tree.
and
yeah.
the bees are like near it.
Yeah. So he's just like scooting up. And like that weird, like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, got you. All right, so like I'll say you're at the height of the beehive.
Can I like knock it down?
Sure.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah. Roll to hit.
okay.
It'd be a unarmed strike. So like what?
Sorry.
Wow, this is a cool painting. His painting is cool. You get live sports updates. Sweet.
What'd you say?
Go to your actions, and like it should be like an unarmed strike, like a plus, like a modifier on it.
Oh, boy.
It was there. See, unarmed strike.
Oh.
4. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a +4 on it.
Okay. 10. No, 11.
Okay. All right. I'll say you do hit it down, but not. It's like kind of clumsy.
Okay.
And the bees are they notice.
Are they agitated?
Oh yeah, you knocked down their home.
Yeah, true.
For sure.
job.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So they're definitely kind of swarming and look like they're coming for
Oh,
you
Jesus.
as you're holding on this tree, like two-handed, two-armed, I should say.
I think. Oh, yeah. Ren's gonna like climb down and be like, "We gotta run. The bees are coming."
What did you do?
I was trying to get the hive down.
Well, Celise, you get the green. I will help Rin with the bees. Okay. Unseen servant.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
And
Very good. Okay. So what?
Perrin casts unseen servant.
Okay. And what's Unseen Servant going to do?
Catch us a bee.
Okay.
So
All right. The problem with Unseen Servant is it's not a physical thing,
well,
so it can't like capture a physical object.
Well, okay. Well, then how was it cooking before?
Yeah,
it can.
Actually, that's a good point. It is holding pots and okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll let you get away with that.
Yeah. You know.
Get away with it. Yes. Players.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So I'll say Unseen Servant catches a bee.
Yes. Unseen servant catches the bee. Okay. So now,
do you want to roll acrobatics to get up the
Sure.
tree?
Pray for us, y'all.
yeah.
Because I'm in armor.
Yes. Good.
You can do it.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Is that the first one of today?
That
Yeah.
is the first one today.
Yeah.
Look, after I said on Twitter, one had happened.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Explain to me how you flawlessly climb up, grab the leaf, and get back down.
So Celise does like leave her sword and shield on the ground. But she just shimmies up there just like she's been doing this her whole life.
Yeah.
Hand over hand. No need to like hug the tree.
Shade.
No shade. It's just like, she got a good enough roll.
Yeah, for sure.
So she like climbs up there, delicately pulls a leaf, puts it between her teeth, doesn't break the leaf.
Wow.
And shimmies back down. I mean, I got a nat
Nice.
20.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. I didn't think about that in your teeth. Catches leaves with her teeth.
That's my new surname.
Paladin, please.
That's my new paladin surname. Catches leaves, first of her name.
Right.
Nice. Okay, so we got a bee, we got a leaf.
Right. And
What else are we getting?
Perrin goes over to the rose and he says, this does smell like boo-boo. Shout out to Outcast. So so Perrin looks at the rose and he picks it.
Okay.
And he
I
picks the
want
rose.
you to roll sleight of hand. Okay. Roses are pretty thorny.
Yes, every rose has a
Let's see
thorn.
if you.
11.
All right. You do pick it up successfully.
All right.
Without pricking yourself.
Nice.
Cool.
Yes.
All right. What else you guys want to do?
Well,
So Sleaze wants to know how are we having swum in the water? Does that count for the blue? Or do we need a vial of the water?
You guys tell me.
I feel like we should take some.
We're wet.
Yeah.
Are we wet? Can
We
we
just got out of the water. Yes.
I will say this. I will say that. Remember, this is very similar to the room you were in before with the lanterns, meaning
Right.
you had to put something in front of the door
Right.
in the correct order.
Right.
Right, then, do any of us have a vial or a empty flask?
If you don't, you can look around for one.
Yeah.
I mean, you are on an island.
Yeah. Yeah, let's look
I mean, you
around.
might have a flask. I don't
Right,
know,
yeah.
I don't know what's in you guys' image.
Well, I mean, Rin
choice.
definitely has a flask.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
But is it empty?
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So you would have to pour out your alcohol and put water in it if you want to use that.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Cause like he wants to try to figure out this puzzle, so
Okay.
we're gonna
All right.
take it out.
right.
This is the first step.
Yeah,
This is
yes,
the first step.
exactly.
This is step
Gonna
one.
One
dump it
day at a
out.
time.
Oh, okay. All right. So you pour out the alcohol. How do you get the water? You just like kind of go
Well,
in
yeah, you
water
just had to like
and-
put it in, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
gonna
you
take a
just
little
get
bit.
it.
So we just dip it in there, let the water go in, and like close it up.
Okay.
So,
right.
but yeah, Perrin does also have like a jar. He has like little knickknacks that he holds stuff in.
Okay.
He goes over to Unseen Servant that is now like holding a bee. So it's just like this bee
Yeah,
suspended
it's just a bee just like trying to get out of the mist.
And Perrin takes the jar and he puts it over the bee and puts the bee in the jar.
Oh, it's some straight up Zelda stuff. I like it.
yeah.
It's like a fairy in there.
Yes.
All right. So as you do that, you guys hear kind of a sound, and you look at the tree, and the tree now looks like it's in the same shape of a painting, but it's showing the room with the lantern in it. So like it almost looks like an image that looks similar to the reverse of the one that you went through to get in the painting.
Oh, so it's Paintception now?
Yeah, Paintception.
Wow. All right.
All right, so I guess we have to go back to the room with the lanterns.
Well,
You guys tell me what you guys can do.
they should perhaps go in order. So, as we do go through, maybe we should go in with the order that we have the items. So, blue, green, yellow, red.
But doesn't one of us have 2 items?
Yes, so we could go in blue, green, yellow, red.
All right. So
All right.
your unseen servant has the bee and you have the rose.
Well, no, Perrin now has.
Okay.
The,
I will also say, Celeste, you feel when like he says the pattern, you feel a little rumble from the stone, and you look at it and the eyes are closed
oh,
when he says that pattern. And you want to roll history.
History is 16.
Okay, so you remember that the pattern Perrin's saying is wrong.
right.
Because the pattern was following Roy G. Biv, the Order
right.
of the Rainbow.
Yes, that is correct.
So it would be.
I knew that.
I'm a gracious DM, guys.
Right, I knew
You
that,
know,
but Perrin-
I'm a gracious DM.
Yes.
Plus, the season's almost over.
Right, right.
So you gotta get it going.
Wow. This would be Rose B. Wow, brain. No, that's not right.
Yeah.
So it'd be Rose,
Red, yellow.
Leaf. So RY.
Yeah, it's Roy G Biv, so that's RYGB.
I did not say I was good at this, y'all.
Right.
So
This
Rose
is a team thing. This is
Right.
all you guys
Rose-
working together.
B, Leaf, Water.
That's right. Right.
So Sleece is going to inform them.
Okay.
So hold on, that's not the pattern, remember?
Well, I never professed to memory being the greatest of my gifts, of which there are plenty.
That's debatable, but now's not the time. But it should be the rose,
Yes.
the bee,
Yes.
the leaf, and the water. For blue, the water.
Yes. Red, yellow, blue, green.
Yes.
Or red, yellow, green, blue.
Red, yellow, green, blue.
Like I said.
We can leave you here on this island, Aaron. A little too much Cicero, not enough parent. But yes, that's the order that we should go in.
Okay.
So you have the rose and the bee. So you go first. I'll follow, and then Ren, you come last.
That is
Okay.
okay.
All right.
So Perrin goes to walk through the painting. He makes a concerted effort. So he has the rose in his left hand, and he has his bee in the jar in his left. No, he has a rose in his left hand and the bee in a jar in his right hand. When he walks through the painting, he goes through with the rose first,
Very good.
and
guys are
then comes in with the bee in his jar.
Okay. As you go through, when your left hand goes like through the rose flies out of your hand and appears on the ground next to the door.
Ooh.
And then as you go through with the right hand, the bee flies out of Unseen Servant, basically dead now,
Right.
and like appears to the right of the rose as you do that. All right.
Who's next?
That would be me.
Okay. And like you have the leaf, right?
Correct.
Okay. As you go through, the leaf flies out of your hand and goes to the right of the bee.
Okay.
And then you going through?
Yep.
Okay. So as you go through, your flask flies out of your hand, turns upside down, empties the water to the right of the leaf. Okay. And then it returns so that you can continue your adventures of drunkenness. Okay. As that happens, you hear a very large shake. And this door that, remember, you were in front of earlier, and when you got the pattern, you fell into the library.
Right.
But now the door begins to open. Ooh. That's where we're going to end today.
Ooh. Oh my God.
So the door that we've seen early on, we finally have gotten in.
Oh man.
To this door.
I am so excited.
That door? That's what's
I'm
what's that
so
door?
excited.
Hey, we got 2 more hours.
Oh my God.
Come on, D&D. Let us go 2 hours. 2 more hours. Right. Okay. All right. So if you have any questions for our characters, please make sure to type question in the chat, followed by the character name and your question. That is for Perrin, for Rin, for Tanya. I'll also answer for Knock Knock and
not for Tanya, but for Celise.
I was just like,
I always mess up yours. I don't know why.
Because Celise and Tanya are pretty
they're so
much the same.
different. No, but the names are so different. I don't know. I will also answer for Knock Knock and like Ash and like you know what if you can justify Percival or the horse or Vajra, we will also answer for them. Or if you want to ask us, since they've been awakened, if you want to ask Jarlaxle, Nihilor, or the Etten as well.
Wow.
I
Wow.
will open it up.
Oh my gosh.
Because this was I feel really good about this episode. So
Yeah.
I will open it up to all that. So yeah, this was definitely a challenge having a smaller group. Like you think it would be easier, but because this episode is so important, like a penultimate so important, it was actually hard because I was like, how do I do this without them being in it? So I was just like, they're off doing stuff.
Right.
I was trying to think of like, no, maybe they heard of something and go through, but I was like, no, they're just off doing stuff. If we'll give it a couple minutes for some questions. If you don't have any, then we will wrap it up.
But while we're waiting for questions, I will say to everyone out there, happy Valentine's Day, happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you guys. And also another day that passed this week, a term I coined because I am brilliant. Happy Scientific Appreciation Day.
Is that Pi Day?
Yeah, that is Pi Day, but it is also Albert Einstein's birthday and the day that what's his name died 2 years ago. Why can't I think of his name? Stephen Hawking. Yeah. So so happy Scientific Appreciation Day. So
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, cool. You know what? Since we're not getting questions, I will answer this one, even though it's not quite a character question. I'll answer it since we're not getting any. What has been the oddest moment that you've encountered playing D&D? So, if you're a first-time watcher, which you might be, some of us are new, and like some of us have been playing a bunch. But I'll start with the most experienced of us, which would be Tanya.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, aside from the puzzles in this campaign with you as GM, no, that's not a knock. It's just like puzzles are an interesting challenge for me, both as a person and a player. Yeah. I was in a campaign that went about 2.5 years. Huh. It was 3.5. It was before 5e existed, and I was playing an elven rogue who managed to fail a sleight of hand to get out of, like, he was basically tied to a pole and he was going to get sacrificed to this dragon. He failed, even though he was like oiled up, should have had advantage because he's in these ropes. He became dragon food.
Oh.
Yeah.
After 2.5 years.
Wow. I legit cried when I got home because that character, like, because I based him off like kind of a melange of different RPG characters that I liked. And I was like, welp. It was nice playing with this character.
Wow, that's something.
Yeah, and just probably just even our very first episode, because it was, for me, it was coming back to D&D after so long.
Yeah.
Because I skipped Pathfinder entirely, and it hadn't played in since that long-running campaign. So it'd been like a good gap of me actually touching dice and playing D&D.
Okay, cool. Dragon food, I like it.
Yeah, poor Velozzo. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Melissa.
R.I.P. Yeah, bro.
All right, Brandon, what's your oddest time?
I mean, I feel like it hasn't been like any odd moments, but probably like the character development of Ren in general has been like, I guess, odd. Because I really didn't know where the character was going when I first made him, and then just to see how he has kind of grew up and just through mistakes and stuff.
Right.
It's been very similar to myself. So yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, I think the oddest moments, selfishly, I think came from this season when I guest GM'd and knew that I was going to kill characters. And if you guys missed that episode, spoiler for that episode, but one of our NPCs that had been around for a while, Duo, was ruthlessly murdered by yours truly. And the reaction to me saying that Duo was dead is something that I will gleefully remember for a long, long period of time, because it really wrecked people
For sure.
in the episode. So that was great. And, you know, it's definitely one of the things that I've come to love about D&D. In the short year that we've been doing it.
Yeah, and it's had real world implications because Duo believes it.
Yeah.
And he left the party.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because of it. So
Absolutely.
he's effectively killed.
Right.
Yeah, I would say for me, I don't know, probably the oddest moment I feel like was like last season when like Carlos was DMing. I think the oddest moment was when Carlos told he told us at the end of the season that he actually expected us to go in reverse. Like he expected us to start in the apothecary.
Right.
And that was a moment where I was like, D&D is so cool. Like I can't believe that you can just adapt and change stuff, and just, it really is cooperative storage. It's not just the DM saying you're going to do this.
Right.
Like you guys have no idea how much I change stuff. Like I have my temp poles.
Yes.
But man, it's so fun adapting.
Wow.
All right, question. What do your characters all think of each other? So like you guys can keep it pretty quick.
Yes.
But who wants to start
Perrin realizes that some of his group look at him very strange, but Perrin looks at all of them as family.
Okay. All right. Anything from Ren or Celeste?
Yeah, I feel like everybody is family to me at this point. We've been through a lot. We've killed a lot of people.
That's a family.
Yeah, I feel like we're pretty much family at this point.
United over killing.
Right.
All right.
Wow.
And Celeste?
Celeste is learning how to care for other people again. So, spoiler for season 2 finale. We learn about Celise's backstory and how her wife was killed and why she feels responsible and what has set her on her path of vengeance. And even though she has no interest in kids or anything else, she does feel responsible for the others, especially toward Ren. She sees him as like a younger sibling. And she likes Perrin. She loves him as a brother, but that annoying older brother that she kind of resents.
Yeah.
And she adores Ash, but wants to kind of keep, like, she almost like wants to keep Ash in her pocket to keep her out of trouble.
Yeah.
And she just like, she thinks Knock Knock is pretty cool, but wishes she feels like he doesn't give himself enough credit. Like he's probably much smarter and much more, like he's better than he gives himself credit for.
Cool. Yeah, and I'll say Shaka, he's become a lot closer. He was definitely a bit standoffish and paranoid. Being a tiefling, you kind of or brought up to. Well, he was brought up to be like that way, kind of like not super trusting. And I think this experience of him like losing his powers and really not being able to contribute the way that he wants to is really humbling to him. And he's realizing how much his party really cares for him. He wasn't sure if you guys were just going to cast him by the wayside, especially because like Rim was like, we have to kill him. Right. But no, he's really realizing that this is absolutely a family that looks out for each other, even, when you can't do anything, because really he's like, he can't really do anything. All right, question. This is for everyone. If you could borrow another member's skill or power, which one would you borrow? I'll answer first as like Shaka. Shaka would love Sleece's AC. Sleece's armor. I want that 21 AC so bad. That's what Shaka wants. He's like, I'm so squishy.
Right.
It's okay. We still love you. We'll take care of you.
Perrin would, I believe Shaka has a skill called Misty Step.
Yes.
As someone who has to look up at the world many of the times, perhaps being able to unhinge and go wherever I like would be very beneficial.
Perhaps unhinged, pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Right?
Definitely Perrin's powers when we had it in the last episode, like a few, last season.
Season 2,
I want to get that back.
Yeah,
that was
right. Yeah.
that was amazing.
I remember you had that sword.
The
that would,
sword,
like, spin
I could
around.
hold swords and do things.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's perfect.
that was awesome. Yeah. And Celise?
Ooh, that's tough. She might actually want Knock Knock's bow and his 2 special arrows.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yes,
hummingbird is pretty dope.
yes.
Hummingbird is pretty dope.
Yep.
And like, because he has like 2 attacks with 2 arrows.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hits 4 times. It's actually pretty dope. Yeah. All right, I think that's it. Yeah, so we're not going to do a season recap, but we'll probably talk a little bit about that at the beginning of next episode.
We do an episode recap every week. So.
Yes, every week. And actually, I probably, because I know that we're going to, because I've already had people say, hey, I'm coming to PAX. What's the best way to like catch up? I will likely, since we have 2 weeks for the audio feed, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit all of the previously on Rivals of Waterdeep into one show and then upload that so that you can listen to that instead of listening to,
Right.
20 hours.
20 hours of our show. So if there's no other questions, let's go around, say what we're up to, what's going on. Start with Tanya.
I am leaving tomorrow for the Game Developers Conference. So if you're in San Francisco or at GDC and in the industry, I'll be around. I'm doing a roundtable Wednesday and Thursday and also an Xbox event on Tuesday, 4 to 7 Pacific. I come home. I'm going to do a day at C2E2 with all these other fine folks. And then we go to PAX, where I'm on way too many panels for my own good. My Saturday is 10 a.m. until 11:30 p.m.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a panel at 10 a.m. I have panels the rest of the day, and then I have our show.
Oh,
Make sure you
gosh.
eat before our show.
Yes. So someone please
my
bring me
God.
chocolate, booze,
Yes,
and food.
I got you.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good point. I might try to bring some food or something for people. Just,
Yeah. So
it's a good idea.
So yeah, and also I want to say thanks to Matt Mercer for tweeting out the show this morning before we went live.
Thank you, Matt.
So
Thank you
to everyone who came by because of his tweet. And so Wizards, if you're watching, that means season 4, right?
Yes. Thank you, Matt, for sure.
Yeah.
I got PAX going on, and then I'm going to Gamers for Giving next week. So I won't be at C2E2, sadly. I have my clothing line came out this past weekend. So if you guys want to check it out, it's on Design by Human. Just look up I Am Branded. So this is one of the shirts that are on there.
Hey, who did the artwork?
They did it. But this was like a concept I came up with, but they designed the whole thing.
I like it, man.
It's 3 a.m. So if you guys want to check it out, go ahead and buy it. And that's it for me. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, I'm Cicero Holmes. I played Perrin Underbow. Let's see. I will be at C2E2 next weekend while we're not here on Rivals, and I'll be around all over the place. I am working the show, doing some interviews for the Spawn on Me podcast that I am on with Sharif Jackson to my right, your left. And we are on every Thursday on Twitch, on twitch.tv/Spawnomy. Thursdays at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you check us out there, or you can check us out on podcast form, or you can check us out on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific if you are in the Portland, Oregon area on 91.1 or 107.1 X-Ray FM. Check us out there. Also, check me out on the Discovery Debrief podcast. And then also in 2 weeks, you'll be able to see us all at the Albatross Theater.
9:30 p.m. Eastern.
At 9:30 Eastern p.m., where Tanya's going to be hungry and tired.
No.
For the finale.
In the live beating.
Yes, in the live meeting.
Live beating will commence.
Yes.
I may not have
2
enough.
hours.
I may not have enough Constitution points to beat you. You could
Oh,
luck
and
out.
yeah, before I get go away, I will say congratulations to Critical Role. As we were talking about Matt Mercer, I mean, you know, as most of you may know, they started a Kickstarter program campaign last week. Trying to raise $750,000, and they've already raised over $7 million. That is amazing. Congratulations to that both talented cast and just wonderful, just beautiful human beings. So I mean, that is great. That is great, and it's great for tabletop. So thanks everyone that is contributing, and thanks the Critical Role family for just being awesome people.
All right, cool. Awesome. And I'm Sharif Jackson. You can go to sharifjackson.com, SHAREEF Jackson.com. There's a projects link on the top. It'll have links to the Spawnomy podcast that I do with Cicero, to Gaming Looks Good, which is my YouTube series, and Math Looks Good, which is my math and physics tutoring service. As a reminder, we will be off next week, so we have no show next week. But in 2 weeks, we will be, as everyone has said, at PAX East, Saturday, March 30th, 9:30 p.m. Eastern in the Albatross Theater. It will be streaming. Do we know if it's streaming on D&D or on PAX's?
It'll be on PAX's, and then we're hoping that D&D will just be able to host because it's off our normal time.
Right.
And all of us that have Twitch channels will host as well.
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm not sure which PAX, because I know they have like 1, 2, and they have different streaming
Yeah, once we know,
channels.
we'll tweet out
we'll
from
tweet.
the account which one it is.
We will tweet it out, but we're super excited. You know, our first show was at Stream of Many Eyes, and so having our 30 shows later being at a convention again. Well, I guess whatever. Yeah, like a group setting is pretty cool. So we're definitely excited. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace. Bye, Carlos and Serena. We love you.
Yes.